Today's challenge. Okay, so happy evening to all. Hope all the students will be joining very shortly. So let's start our session. Polynomials. What is polynomials? Can you all remember? What is polynomial? Just think what you had learnt. Polynomial is nothing but an expression, okay, which has different number of terms. Maybe a equation will be having one term or two term, and you might have learned several names, right? Expression which is having only one term is called a monomial, and then with the two terms it is called a binomial, and with the three terms it is called a trinomial. Okay, but what does it polynomial means? Because many of you used to do this mistake in one more question, that polynomial means which is having four terms. Is it so? No, you have to think. Polynomial is nothing but an expression which is having one or more terms. If just x is there, then also it's a polynomial. If there is x power 4 plus 3x square plus 2 this that, then still it's going to be a polynomial. Fine, done. So let's shortly look into all the required definitions which is needed for this chapter. What is degree of the polynomial? Degree. Degree is nothing but the highest power of the polynomial expression. So for example, here you can see 3x plus 1. Okay, so what is this x? So what you have mentioned it as x? You all can remember x is nothing but the variable. So in each and every expression, whenever you are using some alphabets and then you are denoting, then that is called a variable. So 3x plus 1 is nothing but this is having a variable called x. And what is the highest power in this expression? The highest power is 1, right? The highest power is 1. So the degree of this polynomial is going to be 1. Then look into the second one. 5y square minus 2y plus 3 is a polynomial. Okay, yes. And what is going to be the degree? Degree is nothing but the highest power. Just now I said. So what is the highest power here? Is it 1? No. 2 is there, na? 5y square. So 2 is the highest power. So the degree of this polynomial is 2. Okay. Done. Very good. So those are watching this video, okay, either it is in the live or in the later part, kindly take a pen and paper in your hand, okay, and then make a note of the important definitions whatever you are learning right now. Okay, so by end of this chapter this will be quite helpful for you to have a summary. Okay, so please make use of it properly. Take a pen and paper without any hesitation in your hand and then start making notes. Yes, fine. So we understood what is polynomial and what is degree of the polynomial. Then the third one, types of polynomial. Okay, so here I had given some polynomials. Okay, so there are two different types of polynomials. No sir, here you had given three. There are two different categories. Okay, one is based on its power. Okay, based on its power, and the other one is based on its number of terms. That's what we discussed now: monomial, binomial, trinomial. Okay, based on the number of terms a polynomial have, we used to classify it as a monomial, binomial and trinomial. Here I am giving you in detail based on its number of terms, or with the highest degree. Okay, the highest power. Okay, based on the degree, here we are classifying the polynomial into three types. The first one is a linear polynomial. A polynomial which is having the degree as 1 is called the linear polynomial. And then the next one, the polynomial with the degree 2 is called quadratic polynomial. Here you can see the example, that is 4x minus 1 and then 4x square minus x plus 1. So here you have x square, right? You have x square. So which means the degree is 2. Yes or no? The degree is 2. So that is going to be a quadratic polynomial. And the next one, a polynomial with a degree 3 is called cubic polynomial. So here the degree is 3. You can see na 4x cube plus 3x minus 1, right? So here the highest power is 3. So obviously it will help you. Fine. So the highest power is 3 and so it is called cubic polynomial. Fine. And then the next one, 0 of the polynomial. I hope you all are making note in your note, right? Take a pen and paper or any rough note you have and then start making note of all these things. Okay, this is 0 of the polynomial. 0. What is 0 of the polynomial? The point where the polynomial becomes 0 as a whole. The point where the polynomial becomes 0 as a whole, where the complete expression becomes 0. If you substitute some value for x, see, suppose you take this example 3x plus 1, that is the first example we have. If you substitute some value in the place of x, then the complete equation must become 0. The complete expression must become 0. In such a case, that's going to be called as 0 of the polynomial. Hope it's clear for everyone, right? So in the place of variable, if you substitute some value and so the expression or equation is getting 0, then that is 0 of the polynomial. That's fine. Okay, these are all some basics which already we have learnt in grade 9. It's just a continuation from grade 9. Yes, hope you all like polynomials. I have many students, those who love polynomials. Yes, hope you all will like polynomials. So let's move on to the next one, sum and product of the zeros. Okay, fine. So now we found the zeros. Okay, so wherever, if in the place of x, if you substitute some value, then the expression is getting 0. Okay, so how many zeros will be possible in one expression? Just to think. Suppose if this is going to be your equation. Okay, suppose 4x square minus x plus 1 is going to be your equation. Okay, here is the equation. So in such case, what will happen? Okay, so here the power is 2. You have the power 2. Okay, 2 is the power. So in such a case, what will happen? The maximum number of zeros will be 2. Okay, you will be having 2 zeros for this equation. You will be having 2 zeros for this equation. And if the power, okay, if the degree is 3, then you will be getting 3 zeros for that expression. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one, that is sum and product of the zeros. So now we have a formula for this, which is going to be very easy. So I'm just giving you an example, ax square. Okay, I'm just writing one small expression in the general form. Okay, that's going to be ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, this is going to be the general equation I had written. Okay, fine. Okay, as I told you already, we are learning magic max. Okay, so ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So now you just write it this. Sum of the zeros is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of, no, it's wrong. The sum of the zeros is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Yes, it is nothing but minus b by a. You have to write this minus b by a. And the next one, product of the zeros is equal to the constant term. What is mean by constant term? Sir, you didn't tell. No, you all know. Constant term is nothing but the term without any variable. So here you can see there are 3 terms. Ax square is one term, bx is another term, and c is the third term. So here the c does not contain any variable. C does not have any variable. It's just have a number. A, B, C are just numbers. Okay, so here it can be a constant. So constant divided by the coefficient of x square. Okay, so it's going to be c by a. It is going to be c by a. Is it clear for everyone? Sum of the zeros is equal to minus b by a, and product of the zeros is equal to c by a. Yes, so far what are the definitions we have learned? We have learned what is meant by a polynomial, and then what is the degree of the polynomial, and then what are the types of the polynomial based on its term and based on its degree, and then what is 0 of the polynomial, and the fifth one is sum and product of the zeros. Right, very good. Let's move on to the problems. Okay, yes. So here is the first question, the most simplest question in the world. The graph of y is equal to p of x are given in this figure. For some polynomials p of x, yes, they had given some figure, and what they are asking you to find the number of zeros of p of x in each case. So there are totally some 5 to 6 figures, 6 graphs is here. So you have to find, okay, how many zeros does each of this graph contains. Let's do one by one. The first one, just look into the first graph which you can see here. Okay, hope you all can see this graph, the first one. See, always whenever you are finding this number of zeros, you have to just check only one point. So there is a graph they had given, just to see in how many places, okay, in how many points the graph is crossing or touching the x-axis. Clear? In first graph, does it touches or crossing the x-axis at anywhere? No. Yes, it's clear. It's just crossing the y-axis, not the x-axis. What is x-axis? Sleeping line. And what is y-axis? Standing line. Vertical, horizontal. Hope everyone know this. Right. So here it does not touches x-axis. So does it going to have any number of zeros? No. Okay, it will not have anything. Okay, so it will be having zeros. Okay, that is no zero of the polynomial for this. And then check with the second one. Here, at how many places you have? One place. Okay, so for the first one, find the number of zeros of p of x in each of the case. So you have to write number of p of x is equal to 0 for the first one and for the second one. So here how many places the x-axis? It is 1 point it is getting touched. So therefore the number of zeros of p of x is how much? 1. Done. Second one. And then the third one. Just come to the third question. So here 1, 2 and then 3. So in 3 points this graph is crossing the x-axis. So you have to write the number of zeros of p of x is how much? 3. Hope it's clear for everyone, right? Let's move on to the fourth one. So just to check here how many places the graph is crossing the x-axis in 2 points. So we can write it as the number of zeros of p of x is going to be 2. That's it, right? And then the fifth one, how many places? 1, 2, 3 and 4. See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. In 4 points the graph is crossing the x-axis. So here we have to write it as the number of zeros of p of x is 4, because in 4 places the graph is crossing. And then the last one, see here it's not crossing in some point but it is touching in some point. So whether we have to include that or not, we have to include. Either it is touching or crossing, we have to include that. See, 1, 2 and then 3. So you have to write the number of zeros of p of x is 3. Got it? Hope it's clear for everyone, right? Let's move on to the next question, which is going to be another simple and easiest question. You all know this kind of questions very well. Yes? Find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomials and verify the relationship. What does it mean by quadratic polynomial? Quadratic polynomial. The polynomial with the degree 2. Yes, the highest power is 2 here, and so it's called as quadratic polynomial. So here we are just going to find the zeros. Okay, so first let's start with the first subdivision. Okay, so x square minus 2x minus 8. Yes, so let's solve that. What is there? Minus 8 is there. Okay, so I am just writing here minus 8, and then in between you have a number minus 2. Okay, so now you have to choose two numbers. If you multiply those two numbers, you will be getting minus 8, and then if you add those two numbers, you have to get minus 2. What are those two numbers which we can choose here? 4 2s are 8. Everyone knows that very well. Okay, fine. I'm just putting here 4 2s are 8. So 4 into 2 is 8. But here we have minus 8. Right, we have minus 8. So whether we have to put this minus along with 4 or with the 2, you have to decide that. Along with the 4 or with the 2. 8. So obviously you have to put here. Is it? How to check that? See, just check this number, okay, which is present in between. So here it is minus 2. So when we add or subtract, then the resultant should have the highest numbers sign, right? So here you are just going to add or subtract these two numbers, so that the highest number sign should be minus, and so you will be getting minus 2 here. So minus 4 plus 2, minus 4 plus 2, you will be getting minus 2. Okay, when you add these two numbers, minus 4 and 2, you will be getting minus 2, and then when you multiply minus 4 and plus 2, you will be getting minus 8. Is that clear? Yes. So now we are just going to write the answer. So minus 4 and 2. So always in such case we will be dividing this with the coefficient of x square. So what is the coefficient of x square here? 1. So it's going to be very simple, 1. In case if you are having any other number, then you have to divide with that number, but here it is 1, so just divide it by 1. So now straight away we are going to write the answer. See, listen very carefully. In denominator you got 1, so you can put 1x. Whatever is there in the denominator, along with that you put x. Okay, and then what is there in the numerator? Minus 4. Same way there 1x, and then plus 2 is equal to 0. So if you just equate x minus 4 is equal to 0, you will be getting x is equal to 4. Same way x plus 2 is equal to 0, you will be getting x is equal to minus 2. So therefore the zeros of the polynomial are x is equal to 4 and x is equal to minus 2. Right? So you have to write the conclusion. Therefore the zeros of the polynomial are 4 comma minus 2, and then they are asking us to verify the relation. Okay, fine, let us consider this as alpha and this as beta. See, because in most of our question we will be having a, b, x, y, p, q, so many other alphabets are there. So in order to not to confuse all such things, we are considering here alpha and beta. Okay, so alpha and beta. So it's going to be very simple. First you add this sum of the zeros. We are just adding these two numbers. 4 minus 2 is going to be 2. Okay, we got it. And then you multiply this alpha into beta. What you will get? 4 into minus 2. You will be getting minus 8. Clear now? Now we found sum of the zeros we found, and then the product of the zeros also we found. Alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. Now in question they have asked us to verify the relation. So we are just going to verify its relation. Okay, so what we are going to do? What is the formula? Sum of the zeros? Anyone? Put it in the chat box. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Very good. And then alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Sir, what is a, b, c? This question, yeah, we will get this question. So here you just see, look into this question. Okay, the expression which they had given, x square minus 2x minus 8. So where a is equal to 1, which is nothing but the coefficient of x square, and then b is equal to what? Coefficient of x, that is minus 2, and then c is nothing but the constant term. Understood? We got the value a, b and c. Now you just substitute it here, minus of minus 2 divided by the a value is 1. So it's going to be 2. And then c value minus 8 divided by 1, that is also minus 8. So now you just see here, look into this. See here you got alpha plus beta, sum of the products as 2. Same way here also you got 2. Same way the product of the zeros minus 8, and here also it's minus 8. Right? So therefore it's verified. Okay, therefore hence verified. You can write it as hence verified. Okay. Hope it's clear for everyone. Right? Same way we are just going to do the next question also. 6x square minus 3x plus 7x. Okay, 6x square minus 3 plus 7x. Okay, I wanted those who are watching this video, kindly take a pen and paper in your hand and then start solving the next question. Okay, if you just keep on listen and then if you don't practice, then you will get a feel like as if you know everything. But when you sit in the exam hall, you won't be able to answer for the required question. So it's better to take a pen and paper in your hand and then solve it. Okay, or practicing, it's just a practice. Okay, even though fine you know this sum or you know this complete chapter, let it be, but still you have to practice so that you will get habituate, right? So let's move on to the next subdivision, subdivision number 2. 6x square minus 3 plus 7x. Okay, so is it in the correct order? A, B, C, is everything correct? So what is A value? 6. Okay, B value minus 3. Is it? No. First you have to rearrange and write this equation or expression. Write this expression in a proper manner. See, first let us write it. X is x square, and then first we had written x square term. So the next one is going to be x term plus 7x and then minus 3. Hope it's clear for everyone. 6x square plus 7x minus 3. Right? Fine. So now let us solve this. So now what you have to do is you have to just multiply the coefficient of x square and the constant term. 6x square into minus 3. What you will be getting? Minus 18. Right? 6 into minus 3. So minus 18. And in the mid you have 7. So now you have to choose two numbers. If you multiply, you will be getting minus 18. And if you add, you will be getting 7. What are those two numbers? Think, think, think. What are those two numbers? 18. 9 twos are 18. Fine. Okay. 9 twos are 18. So, but 18 is having minus and 7 is having plus. It's a positive 7 and negative 18. So which sign where? So you have to just think accordingly. Here 7 is positive. So which means the greater number will be positive and the smaller number will be negative. Right. So here I am putting plus 9 and then minus 2. Okay. Plus 9 and minus 2. So after this, what I said, so there in the last subdivision, you had the coefficient of x square as 1. So you divided by 1. But here the coefficient of x square is going to be 6. So divided by 6. Divided by 6. It's going to be very simple. Just divide it by 6. Okay. And then try to solve. See here it's 6 tables. Okay. So you cancel it with the 3 tables. So you will be getting 2 and then here 3. Okay. 2 times and then 3 times. Again here 2 1 times and then 3 times, right? So now using this you have to write the answer. Okay, so let's see how you are writing. Okay, so here the denominator is having 2, so along with that you have to put x. So 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3, right? In the denominator, whatever the number you have, just put x along with that and write whatever is there in the numerator. So 2x plus 3, okay? And then here you have 3x, and in the numerator you have minus 1. So 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 into 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. So just find it out. 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. And what is going to be the value of x? 2x is equal to minus 3, where x is equal to minus 3 by 2. Same way here, 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, where 3x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 by 3. So we got two numbers. This is alpha and this is beta. Yes or no? We got both the values, na? Alpha and beta. And then what is the value of A? A value is 6, and then B value is 7, and then C value is minus 3. So in two places you have to be very cautious. One is to arrange the terms in the proper order with the highest power to the lowest power. Okay, power 3 or power 4, whatever you have, the highest power, and comes the next with a constant term. That should be the way you have to arrange an expression. Okay, that's one. And then you found the value of A, B and C. Okay, and then here you found. So now we are just going to verify it. So just do it. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 3. So now you have to take LCM. So just do it. Minus 9 plus 2 divided by 6. So what you will get? Minus 7 by 6. This is alpha plus beta. And then alpha into beta, you will get minus 3 by 2 into 1 by 3. So it is nothing but 3 will get cancel, and you will be getting minus 1 by 2. Alpha plus beta is minus 7 by 6, and alpha into beta is minus 1 by 2. So this is one which we found based on the values which we received. And now we are just going to use the formula alpha plus beta is equal to, yes, put your answer in the comment box. Alpha plus beta is equal to, what's that? Minus coefficient of x, is it? Minus coefficient of x square divided by, no, think, what is that? Minus b divided by a. What is b and what is a? B is nothing but the coefficient of x, and a is nothing but the coefficient of x square. When you are writing this, you have to be very careful. I have seen many of the students used to make some small mistake here. They will just get confused with the numbers when they write here. So minus b divided by a. Okay, that's why again and again I'm telling you, just keep it as a, b, c instead of considering it as x square and x. So minus b divided by a. So it's going to be minus 7 divided by 6. Got it? And then alpha into beta. What you will get? What is the formula? C by a. Right? So minus 3 divided by 6. If you cancel, then you will get minus 1 by 2. That's it. So is it correct? See, here you got minus 7 by 6. Same way here also you got minus 7 by 6. Here it's minus 1 by 2. And here also it's minus 1 by 2. So therefore it's hence very fine. Hence very fine. Is it clear for everyone? See, we found the zeros of the polynomial alpha and beta, and then we had alpha plus beta separately and alpha into beta separately. Okay, and then using the formula minus b by a and c by a, we found the answers, and then we checked whether both the answers are equal or not. At last we got the equal answers, and so it's hence verified. Do any of you have any questions or any comments or any queries up to this? If something is there, please let us know. Okay, and then let's move on to the next question. That is question number 3. Find a quadratic polynomial with each of the given numbers as the sum and product of its zeros respectively. Very simple. Very simple. See, I'm just giving you one formula. Okay, so first make a note of this one. X square, okay, x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta is equal to 0. Fine. X square minus, what is alpha plus beta is nothing but sum of these zeros, and alpha into beta is product of these zeros. Okay, so now find a quadratic equation given numbers as the sum and product of its zeros. Here is the twist in many of the questions. Okay, even in board they used to ask sometimes they will give the zero of the polynomial and then they will ask you to make this equation. Okay, sometimes they will give you the sum and product of the zeros and then they will ask you to make this equation. So you have to be very careful here. So whether the first one 1 by 4, okay, let us do with the first one. Okay, whether 1 by 4 is alpha value or what else it is. They had given very clearly sum and product. So which means alpha plus beta is equal to 1 by 4. And then alpha into beta is equal to minus 1. Is that clear for everyone? Yes, now you just substitute it here. X square minus 1 by 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. So now you just simplify this. 4x square minus x minus 1 the whole divided by 4 is equal to 0. I have just taken the LCM, and then if the division 4 comes this side, it will become multiplication, and 4 into 0 will become 4. Therefore, the equation is 4x square minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Is it clear for everyone? Right? Yes. And then let's move on to the next one. Here they had given 0 comma root 5. Okay, so what is this 0? 0 is nothing but alpha plus beta is 0, and then alpha into beta is equal to root 5. So we had written alpha plus beta as 0 and then alpha into beta is equal to root 5. So just substitute in the same formula. See, please make a note of this. X square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So just substitute it here. So x square minus 0x plus root 5 is equal to 0. So what you will get? X square plus root 5 is equal to 0. Why, sir? Because 0 into x, the complete term will become 0. So x square plus root 5 is equal to 0. That's it. So now we found the quadratic polynomial for these two subdivisions. Hope it is clear for everyone, right? This is question number 3. Okay, so kindly make a note, and then when you are writing the conclusion, please be very clear. Okay, therefore the quadratic polynomial is, you have to write all such simple wordings. It will be quite catchy when the evaluator evaluate your paper. Okay, it will be really catchy when you give proper conclusion, and when you put a bracket or when you underline or when you put a small box for the solution which you got. Okay, so here x square minus 0x plus 5 is equal to 0, and then at last you got x square plus root 5. So just put a small box or you write a conclusion. Therefore, the quadratic polynomial is x square plus root 5 is equal to 0. Hope it is clear for everyone, right? Yes, let's move on to the next part. Yeah, the most lovable question in polynomial. Divide the polynomial p of x by the polynomial g of x and find the quotient and remainder in each of the following. Okay, so let's try to solve this. The first one is p of x they had given. Hope you all know this, but still please listen very carefully. It will be very easy for you. Okay, if you listen now. See, I'm just going to give you just 3 steps. If you repeat those 3 steps, then you will be getting the answer. Okay, so please listen very carefully. Okay, I'm just solving this. So here it is x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 3. And then we are just going to divide this polynomial with x square minus 2. Hope it is clear for everyone, right? X square minus 2. Now, I told you 3 steps now. What are those 3 steps? First you divide. And then next, I will tell you when we are doing. Divide. What to divide? Already the question is divide. Again, sir is asking to divide. No. Just check the first term here, that is x cube, and check the first term here, that is x square. Right. So just divide these two things, x cube divided by x square. So what you will get? All these things will get cancelled. So you will get x, because in the numerator you are having 3x and in the denominator you have 2x. So all this will get cancelled and you will get x. So this alone you have to put it in the quotient. Okay, in the quotient we have kept this x. So that is the first point I said, you have to divide. Divide the first term of both this expression, the divisor and the dividend. You are just dividing and then you will be getting the value x, and then you are putting that in the quotient. This is the first one. And the next one is multiply. We are just going to multiply. What we are going to multiply? We are just going to multiply this x with these two terms. Okay. Just do the multiplication. X into x square will become x cube, and then x into minus 2 will become minus 2x. Right? Yes or no? Minus 2x. Fine. But here we have x square term. So you just leave it as empty and then you put here. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you got x cube divided by x square as x. So you kept that in the quotient. So when you multiply, you got x square. And then when you multiply here, you are getting minus 2x. See, in order to overcome the confusion, I have written it exactly below the term where you have x. If you write it below this x square term, then you will get confused. So write it accordingly. Okay. So this is the second step which we have done. First we have done with the division, and then we have done with the multiplication, and the third one is subtraction. How many of you don't know division, multiplication, subtraction? Obviously, this is a wrong question for grade 10. Everyone knows the division, multiplication and subtraction. So just repeat these 3 steps again and again in these kind of problems. So you will be getting the final answer. So it is very simple. Okay, so now subtraction, in the sense we have to change the sign. I'm just changing the sign. If you have plus, you have to change it to minus, and if you have minus, you have to change it to plus. So x cube minus x cube will get cancelled, and then here rest we can write as such. Minus 3x square is there, so let us write 3x square minus 3x square as such, and then here it is 5x plus 2x. We can write it as 7x, because 5 plus 2 7, and then minus 3. Done. One set is over. Division, multiplication and subtraction is over. Okay, now again start from the first. Okay, you are just going to start from the division. What is here? Minus 3x square. And then what is here? X square. Fine, just cancel. So you will get minus 3. So what you have to do after division? Put this number in the quotient. Right? So now you do it. Minus 3. Again, the second step is multiplication. So minus 3 into x. Not only 3, it is minus 3. So minus 3 into x square will become minus 3x square. And then minus into minus will become plus. 3 2s are 6. Again you have to make a note. I don't have x term, so I am not putting anything below the x term. I got constant, so I am just putting that constant number below the constant number. That is done. Now second one is done. The third one is, you have to just do with the third step, that is subtraction. Subtraction, in the sense you have to change the sign. You have to change the sign. So change minus as plus and plus as minus. this will get over, and then here you have 7x, and then minus 3 minus 6, so you will get minus 9. Done. Okay, so now it is not possible. Why is it not possible? We can repeat the same step now. No, just to see here, we got 7x divided by, here if you put, you will get x square, and if you cancel, you will be getting 7 by x. It's going on the other side. Okay, from now onwards, see, whenever you are solving these kind of questions, first you have to arrange the expression in the proper order, as I told, based on the degree that is available. Okay, the highest power and the next power, and then at last comes the lowest power. Accordingly, we have to arrange. And then when you solve, somewhere you will get the constant in the quotient. By there, the problem gets over. When you are getting the constant term, then that's it. That is going to be the last step. If you still try to prolong, then you will be getting the power in negatives. See, when you solve this, you will be getting 7x power minus 1. That is not required. You won't be able to find it, and then that will be going for a long time. Okay, so that's it. So here in this question, they have asked for a few things. What is that? The quotient. So what is the quotient which we got? Quotient is equal to x minus 3, and then the remainder is equal to 7x minus 9. Okay, quotient and remainder. Okay, we found the quotient and remainder. Quotient is x minus 3 and the remainder is 7x minus 9. Is it clear for everyone? Yes. So I wanted you all to practice such kind of problems today, and so in the next class we can again try to solve the same kind of questions, one or two more questions with the next level, so that it will be very easy for you all, right? So what are the things we have learned today in polynomials? We learned what is meant by polynomial, and then we learned what are the types of polynomial we have based on its degree, and then based on its number of terms. We understood all those things. Okay, and then we have solved all the other questions also, and then we learned what is meant by zero of the polynomial. Yes or no? We understood what is zero of the polynomial, and then we have learned the sum and product of these zeros. What is the formula? Close your eyes and give me the answer. Sum and product of these zeros, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta is equal to c by a. So we have solved a few questions how to verify these zeros. We found the zeros, okay, and then we verified whether sum of the zeros is equal to this minus b by a, and product of the zeros is equal to c by a. So we are able to verify that. That is one. And then we found how to find the number of zeros, the number of places or the number of points where the graph crosses or touches the x-axis. That is the one. Okay, and then yeah, zeros we found. And then the expression, yes, you all must remember this, x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. Okay, this you can write in the other way also, x square minus sum of the zeros into x plus product of the zeros. Sum of the zeros, it is alpha plus beta, and product of the zeros, it is alpha into beta. So you can replace this with the wordings also. And then at last we learned the polynomial division. Okay, this p of x, g of x. Okay, so they had given one dividend and divisor, so we are dividing that, and at last we found the quotient and remainder of the given question. So here we repeated only 3 points. What are those 3 points? 3 steps actually. What are those 3 steps? Division, and then multiplication, and then subtraction. Again division, multiplication, subtraction. So at last you will be getting the answer. Clear? Hope this is clear for everyone. Okay, so we have many other methods in polynomials. So stay tuned with us to learn more into polynomials and with the next chapter. So let's continue with this 90 days of challenge. So today successfully we are doing with our day 2. Let's hope for the best in the future. All the best to everyone. Thank you all.